Imagine standing on a professional set, the pressure of $1 million production bearing down on you. You reach for your camera, ready to capture a split-second moment that will never happen again. Now, imagine a world where you don't have to worry about rolling shutter, where your focus is surgically locked onto your subject's eye regardless of how erratically they move, and where your 50-megapixel files retain such deep dynamic range that editing feels like painting with light. For years, we have been told that we have to choose. Do you want speed, or do you want resolution? Do you want a cinema-grade machine, or a hybrid workhorse? Well, the industry is about to get a wake-up call, and if the latest leaks regarding the Nikon Z9 II are even half true, we are witnessing the biggest paradigm shift in photography since the death of the mechanical shutter. We have all been lulled into a false sense of security. We thought the megapixel and speed wars had finally settled into a predictable, boring rhythm. We saw the Z9, we saw the Sony A1, and we thought, this is it. This is the plateau. But sometimes, the supply chain speaks before the marketing department is ready, and what is coming out of the shadows regarding the Z9 II is nothing short of an absolute bloodbath for the competition. This isn't a minor refresh. This isn't just a firmware update in a new housing. This is a total, uncompromising reimagining of what a flagship mirrorless camera is capable of doing. Let's start with that sensor. The original Z9 set the world on fire with its 45.7 megapixel stacked CMOS, a chip that effectively forced every other manufacturer to reconsider their reliance on mechanical parts. But Nikon isn't resting on its laurels. The leaks suggest they are pushing the boundaries to a 50-megapixel stack sensor. Now, I know what you are thinking. 50 megapixels is great, but what about the noise? What about the low-light performance? Historically, as you cram more pixels onto a sensor, you lose the clean, buttery low-light output that pros demand. But here is the secret weapon: 3-nanometer silicon manufacturing. Think about how much processing power is inside your smartphone today. Now, imagine that level of efficiency applied to a full-frame sensor. Experts who track the yields from top-tier foundries have noted that we are reaching a point where signal-to-noise ratios are improving faster than the resolution is increasing. This means that with the Z9 II, you aren't just getting more detail, you are getting a sensor that is arguably more efficient than its predecessor. It is that perfect, elusive blend of studio-grade detail and sports action speed. You can crop into a portrait and see the texture of the skin, or you can crop into a wide-angle wildlife shot and still have enough resolution to blow it up for a billboard. It is absolute, uncompromised versatility. But then we have to talk about the holy grail. If you have been following the tech space, you know the term global shutter. For those who might be newer to this, a standard camera sensor captures an image line by line, almost like a scanning copy machine. This is why you get jello or skewed vertical lines when you move the camera too fast or capture a spinning propeller. It is a limitation of physics that we have just accepted. But a global shutter captures every single pixel at the exact same time. It freezes time. If Nikon manages to integrate a true global shutter into a 50-megapixel flagship, they aren't just improving the Z9. They are rendering almost every other camera on the market obsolete for motion work. Imagine panning at 100 miles per hour during a race and having zero distortion. Imagine shooting under flickering LED stage lights and having zero banding. It is the kind of leap that makes you want to sell your entire kit and switch ecosystems overnight. Sure, the traditional argument against global shutter has always been the loss of dynamic range. But Nikon has been the king of raw file flexibility for years. If they have found a way to marry that sensor technology with their advanced processing engine, the dynamic range debate will effectively be over. And let's talk about that processing engine because it is the unsung hero of this story. We are entering the age of AI-driven everything, and Nikon is not hiding their intentions. Their next-gen autofocus engine is designed to leverage machine learning at a level we haven't seen in the consumer or professional space yet. We aren't just talking about eye tracking. We are talking about predictive, erratic subject recognition. If you are shooting a professional athlete, a bird in flight, or a wild, unpredictable subject, the camera isn't just reacting, it's anticipating. It is a zero-miss system that aims to make the act of focusing a completely transparent, effortless experience. When you pair this immense autofocus metadata with the massive 50-megapixel RAW files, you are dealing with a staggering amount of data. This is where the synergy with modern workstations comes in. We are seeing a shift where these files are being optimized for local processing. You can drag a burst of high-speed, high-res shots onto a machine like a modern Mac Studio or a high-end PC, and the editing software just flies. No stuttering, no waiting, no proxies. It is about removing the friction between your vision and the final product. Nikon understands that a professional's time is their most valuable asset. They don't want you spending hours waiting for files to render or fighting with playback glitches. They want you creating. For the filmmakers in the audience, this is where the Z9 II really starts to threaten the dedicated cinema market. We've seen leaked reports that Nikon is pushing for significantly higher frame rates in 8K, along with cleaner oversampled 4K. But there is a hidden challenge there: heat. You can't record 8K RAW internally without creating a massive amount of thermal energy. In the past, companies have solved this with loud fans or by limiting record times. But Nikon has allegedly developed a new passive thermal management system. Think of it like a heatsink that is part of the chassis itself, pulling heat away from the sensor and the processor without a single moving part. This means rock-solid, hour-long reliability on the hottest commercial sets. No overheating warnings, no dropped frames, just pure, consistent performance. When you look at the landscape of the camera industry, you see a lot of good enough cameras. You see mid-range bodies that are perfectly fine for vlogging or weddings. But the Z9 II is being positioned as something else entirely, a singular, ultimate tool. The Z8 already bridged the gap between the Z9 and the rest of the lineup, which means the Z9 II has to do something drastically different to justify its top-tier price. It has to be a monster. By combining a 50-megapixel global shutter, unlimited 8K RAW video, and AI-driven predictive tracking, Nikon is effectively telling every production company in the world, you don't need a dedicated cinema camera, a dedicated sports camera, and a dedicated studio camera. You just need this. This is a targeted strike. It's a deliberate, high-stakes move to win the hearts and minds of the professional market. We are talking about erasing the lines between high-end cinema, elite sports, and ultra-high-resolution studio work. It's a bold value proposition. Even if you have to pay a premium for it, if it saves you the cost of owning and maintaining 2 or 3 separate specialized cameras, it suddenly becomes the most cost-effective choice in the business. So what is the bottom line here? Is the Z9 II going to be the beast we are all hoping for? Based on the trajectory of the supply chain leaks and the clear direction Nikon is taking with their sensor and processing R&D, I truly believe this camera will change the industry's trajectory. It's not just about the specs. It's about the philosophy of the machine. It's a statement of power. It's Nikon saying, we are not just catching up to the competition. We are setting the finish line. If you are a professional, you are probably already running the math in your head. Do you wait for the official announcement? Do you start setting aside the budget? Or do you take the risk of sticking with your current gear and hoping it doesn't become yesterday's news? Personally, I think this is the kind of hardware that only comes around once every 5 to 10 years. If these rumors hold up, this won't just be the camera of the year. It will be the industry standard for a long time to come. It's exciting, it's disruptive, and frankly, I can't wait to see the first raw files come out of this machine. The flagship war is officially back on, and the industry will never be the same. The balance of power is shifting, and the biggest winner here is, without a doubt, the creative professional. If you like this breakdown and want to stay ahead of the curve as more information drops on this massive release, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your fellow gearheads, and make sure you hit that bell icon. The Z9 II is coming, and you'll want to be the first to know when the final specs are confirmed. What are your thoughts? Is a 50-megapixel global shutter the dream spec you've been waiting for? Or are you concerned about the low-light trade-offs? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading every single one of them. Until next time, keep creating.